Hi, Mami Akwan. I've never been on YouTube live before. So you guys are making history. You're going to be the first ever people to have joined my live. So thank you very much. So I'm going to start by explaining the types of visa that we have, so that whilst I am giving you the update, if I mention a visa, you understand what I mean. Okay. So the very first visa that I want to start with is called skilled worker visa. So you may have heard about the shortage occupation list. Hi Mortens. You may have heard about the shortage occupation list. And so anyone that qualifies for a shortage occupation job usually would get a skilled worker visa to come to the UK to stay and work. Okay, so they give you skilled worker visa if you are qualified for any of the skilled worker the shortage occupation list. And for, to the best of my knowledge, teachers are on there, nurses are on there, pharmacists are on there. It's a whole lot of list, whole lot of professions, I mean. So if I mention skilled worker, that is what I mean. Okay. And then number 2 is health and care worker visa. So with this one, they recently just introduced I think it came to replace the skilled worker in a way, because it was introduced to cater for people in the medical field, so doctors, nurses, care jobs and all that. They made that skilled health and care worker visa for them as well, so that they could also come to the UK to work. And then we have a family visa. When they say family visa, please do not don't mix this with dependent visa. They are not the same, they are different. With a family visa, when someone has gained residency in the UK, if you get your ILR, indefinite leave to remain, or citizenship, then you can apply for your spouse or child to come, but the person will be applying for a family visa. But for those of us who are here on temporary work visas, what we will be applying for is called dependent visa. So it's different from family visa. So in this update, they mentioned about family visa. So if you hear me saying family visa, that's exactly what I mean. Okay. And then we have graduate visa. So when you come to school here, when you come on a student visa, after you complete your school, and your school writes a letter to Home Office saying that this person has finished their schooling, there is a 2 or 3 year period depending on what course you do. If you did an undergraduate course, you have 2 years post your course to get a job. Okay, within that period you can work and you don't need to be sponsored. But after those 2 years, if it's undergraduate, it's 2 years. If it is PhD and doctoral courses, you have up to 3 years of not requiring a sponsor. So you can stay in the UK for those 2 or 3 years without even needing a sponsor, just living your life and looking for a job. Okay, so that is what we call graduate visa. Graduate visa is you applying for a visa to stay in the UK without a sponsor for 2 or 3 years post your education. Okay, so I'm going to go to the, if you see me looking, I'm just looking at my notes. I'm going to go to the changes that they talked about. Okay, so the very first one was that, just a second guys. So the very first one is that you cannot apply for a family visa if your member, oh sorry, that's not, I'm reading the wrong thing, sorry guys, hold on. Oh yes, so those on health and care visas will not be allowed to bring their independents or their dependents to the UK. So recently it was announced, about 5 changes were announced, because the UK public are saying that there are too many migrant workers in the UK, and they don't mean the illegal ones, so they mean proper legal migrants. The numbers are becoming too much, and not everybody is working, and so they come here, they're not working, puts a lot of pressure on public services and all that. So they asked for the government to do something. So they came out with these changes, and the very first one was that those on health and care visa will not be able, care workers that is, they will not be able to bring their dependents to the UK. And the care jobs were just started, I think in the year ending September 2023. It was something they started new just to cater for the shortages in care homes, in hospitals, and all that. And last year, they said they weren't going to continue again. Even this year, they said they weren't going to continue. So what they are saying is that if you are coming to work in the UK as a carer, then you are not allowed to bring your dependents. Carer, social worker, all those people, you are not allowed to bring your dependents, not anymore. The second change, so teachers are not affected, please. They didn't mention teachers' names. You are not affected. So you can bring, because teachers use skilled worker visa. You guys don't use health and care visas. You use skilled worker visas. So you're allowed to come and bring your dependents. So it doesn't affect you. The second one is that the baseline minimum salary to be sponsored for a skilled worker visa will increase from £26,200 to £38,700. So remember, skilled worker visa. In order for you to be eligible for that skilled worker visa, you must be earning a certain amount of money in your country to be able to qualify for that visa. Okay, and they've increased it from 26,200 to about 38,700, and that is a huge increase. Okay, if you, not everybody in UK is earning up to that 38,700 pounds a year. Even those in UK, not everybody is earning up to that amount. So they are trying to do that so that only people that can afford to care for their families bring them or come to the UK. So that when you bring your family, they don't have to rely on the UK government to look after them. And also so that the employers in UK can fall on UK people rather than going outside, because they know that if they go out to try to bring people in, a lot of people may not meet that salary threshold. So they will rather employ people in the UK who are more likely to meet that salary threshold. Okay, and also the third one is just a second. So guys, let me just add that with this baseline minimum salary that you must have, those on health and care visas, those who are going to be working for NHS, they are not part, and then teachers too are not part. So that's good news as well. I'll put a link in the Telegram page, or when I upload this video on YouTube, there's a link of all those professions, those on education, national pay scales. Those on that list are not part. When I looked at it, lecturers, college lecturers, primary school teachers, special needs education teachers, all those people were exempted from meeting that salary threshold. I'll put the list there. Okay, the third one is that they are going to change the shortage occupation list. Right now there are lots and lots of occupations on the shortage occupation list, but from next year they are going to look into it, and they are going to be reducing the number of shortage occupation lists, occupations on the shortage occupation list. They are going to review all those occupations, and they may either take it all away or put a minimum salary threshold. We don't know yet. They haven't said exactly what they are going to do to it, but they are only letting us know that they are going to review it. So from next year, we have to be expecting changes in that regard as well. The fourth one is the minimum income for someone to bring their spouse. So remember that family visa I talked about. So they also increased the minimum requirements for that one as well, salary requirement, also to £38,700, just like they did for the skilled worker visa. So if somebody is settled in the UK, mind you, family visa is not the same as dependence visa. Family visa, you, the person that is going to bring your family from outside, you must be settled, or you must be a UK citizen, or England, any of the countries, a British citizen first. So this visa, they are also increasing the salary threshold. So this one has got a lot of people talking. It means that if your spouse is living in the UK and they don't meet that threshold, and trust me, a lot of people living in the UK are not going to meet that £38,700, so they can't bring their family into the UK. But when they announce all these changes, they haven't brought it into effect yet. Maybe they'll look into it, maybe they'll review it again, or they may just pass it. But as at now that I'm talking to you, they haven't passed it yet. It is plans that they plan to do. They plan to bring it into effect, but they haven't really passed it definitely. So people are still, moaning and grumbling here and there. So it could be that they may change their minds and review it, maybe not. So we don't know. The fifth one is that the migration advisory committee will review the graduate visa. So remember I talked about the graduate visa as well. They are going to look into that, because at the moment, if someone is on the graduate visa, they can bring their dependents. They are going to look into that as well. Last year, or was it early this year, I think, they put a hold on student visas. They stopped them from bringing their dependents. So we are expecting that something similar is also going to happen to the graduate visa route. They are probably going to say, if you are on the graduate visa, you are not allowed to bring your family until maybe you move from the graduate visa to a work visa or something. So yeah, there's that as well. And also another thing that they plan to do is increase the health surcharge. Luckily, those on the health and care worker visas, they don't already pay health surcharge. They are exempted. Health surcharge is the amount that you pay to be able to use health services in Ghana. So in UK. Why am I saying Ghana? In UK. So maybe GP, accident and emergency services, hospitals, all those ones. That's the money where they source the money from immigrants paying health surcharge. So those on health and care worker visa, they don't have to pay that. They are exempted. But if you are, for instance, if a teacher was applying for a skilled worker visa, you'd be expected to pay that health surcharge. Sometimes the sponsor will pay it for you, plus the visa charges and everything. But other times you are expected to be paying that amount yourself, and then they refund you and all that. So the health surcharge is increasing from 624 to about £1,035. So that's another change that we are expected to have. Okay. So someone may ask, what if you don't meet that salary requirement, that £38,700? If you don't meet that £38,700 at the moment, there are exceptions. But with those exceptions, the Home Office, this has the final say. It's not written in stone. When I read about it, there were sometimes where they'll consider your savings. Or for someone who is not working, say you are not a salary worker, but you have to come to the UK, you have a family here who wants you to come, but you don't have a salary to meet that threshold because you are not educated, you can add your property. They can do that evaluation, your property and all those things. There's a way they do it, honestly, but it's Home Office that will do it. So there are exceptions to you not meeting that £38,700, but most likely than not, you may still not get it. It's Home Office that has that final say. And some people were asking whether those already in the UK, would it affect them? That minimum threshold increase for them to be able to bring their family, would they be affected? And they said that the plan is to move forward. So it's not to go back and then reconsider all those things. It's like from spring going. So anyone from spring going. So we are hoping that if you're already in the UK and you want to bring your family, you don't have to meet that salary threshold. Or your family is already here, but you want to extend your visa. Because with these visas, they get extended, I think from 2.5 years onwards, you have to extend it again. So if you're already here, your family is here, but you want to extend your visa, then you may not have to meet that salary threshold. I hope you guys understand. Please, you can leave your comments in there. You can chat in the chat box there. It takes about 60 seconds for the chat to appear. I don't know why YouTube does that, but it takes about 1 minute for the chat to appear. Okay, so yes, thank you very much. I think, what else? I had a couple of questions that I wrote down. Somebody asked about school. So if nothing has changed about school, for the new changes that they announced. Nothing has changed. So if you wanted to go for teacher training, you can still apply and get sponsorship to come for your teacher training. Nothing has really changed. From spring going is when we'd actually have definite criteria, okay, because they only came to announce. They didn't put specific criteria that everybody must meet. So from spring next year going, that's when they'll bring the specifics. So if you still apply for schools, teacher training or otherwise, and you get it, you can still come, and you may still be able to bring your dependents, okay? Because that one I explained in my previous video, there are two types, salaried and non-salaried. So yeah, there's that possibility as well. Let me see what else I haven't said. Oh, the other one was that sponsors should be regulated by the quality CQC, Commission of Quality. I've forgotten what the full meaning of CQC is, but teachers are not affected. If you're a teacher, you're not affected. That has got to do with healthcare, carers and hospitals and all that. So you are not affected by this as well. So guys, I think that's about it. Maybe I haven't mentioned anything, but from all my notes, that's what I've got. Yeah, so if anybody has any questions, please go ahead to ask. Otherwise, I don't want this to prolong too much because it's the very first live video, like I said. So leave your comments. I'll wait for 1 minute because it takes about 60 seconds for the message to appear, and then if not, we'll end it here and then we'll try again another time. Yeah. Any questions, guys? Let me check the comment section. Please submit your questions, or you don't have any questions. So okay, I'll go on then. There was this other thing where I was advising people to try and go with the care route, but after these changes have been announced, I don't think that's going to be possible for you as a teacher, because you may not be able to bring your dependents, and then it's a long process now, because sometimes the care homes want you to work for them for at least 5 years before you can even switch to a different kind of visa. So that's also going to be very difficult for you. And the jobs now, I know they are very difficult, but the good news is that getting to this time of the year, they are very hard to come by, and I feel like they may even get harder to come by next year once all these immigration rules have come into place. So if you are searching, I would advise you to search vigorously, like really put in effort, okay, especially in the beginning of the year from January. Really put in effort, because once these rules come into place, even though they may not stop anyone from employing, some organizations will try to play it safe by not employing people. Okay, so try your other options. I talked about being a teaching assistant. I talked about going to teacher training, all that. You can contact Get Into Teaching. They are very good with advising you on your best options. Okay, I think I'll put their contact number or email in beneath this video when I post it on YouTube, or check my other videos. I always post them, their contact details. Get in touch with them. Ask for the best possible way for you to get a job, because once all of these migration rules come into place, it's going to be even difficult. Let me see, someone put a message here. Let me see. Please, is it possible to get a visa sponsorship when you want to study in a state university? So yes, the answer is yes, because like I said, there are two ways of getting into school as a teacher. We have the salaried and then the salaried route and the non-salaried route. With the salaried route, you first have to get a visa sponsorship. Okay, so sometimes they'll advertise for teacher trainees, or the other time when we had this Zoom call, Doreen mentioned about trust. So schools come in, a cluster of schools can come in together to form a trust, and then that trust would employ people and then put them into school for, I think, from when they start to 4 years. So they must put you into school within 4 years, kind of. So if you see a job application, maybe teacher training, teaching assistant, okay, but you want to apply, you can apply and get sponsorship. Once you come to the UK, the trust or sponsoring school would assist you and sponsor you to go into school. I don't know if you understand what I mean. You may not meet the requirements now, but there are certain schools that employ people, give them sponsorship to work with them, and then assist them get into teaching schools. The non-salaried route is that you would apply for the school yourself, but you will not be working whilst you are in school. With the salaried one, you'll be working with your sponsor. They'll be paying you, but they'll be assisting you go to school. Non-salary, you will be working by yourself. No, you'll not even be working because you are going to school. You will be in school. You are not going to be receiving any salary. You are going to have to pay your school fees by yourself. But then there are scholarships and bursaries that will help you be able to like go through the school. So those are the two types. So it depends, because even that one too, you have to search for a job that is willing to sponsor you still. Okay, if you want to go through the salaried route, you have to look for a job that is going to sponsor you. But if you want to go through the non-salaried route, then just apply to any school at all. Focus on your education, focus on getting on a scholarship. When you finish your teacher training, they give you a QTS, and then you can apply to any school at all in the UK. I hope you understand what I mean. Okay, I've got a video on that. I think 2 videos before this one, so you can check out my YouTube channel. Okay, watch that video, please. Someone said, I just joined, so I'll watch it and drop my questions here later. Okay, can you also gain scholarship if you don't have the money to gain admission into a university and pay later when you get the job? So Isa, I would say that the best option for you is to go as a teacher trainee. Okay, so when you're applying for jobs, look for jobs that are teacher trainee, and then they sponsor you. They sponsor teacher trainings, so they sponsor you to come. So you'll be working with your sponsoring school, and then they'll help you enroll in a teacher training school. Whilst you are working with them, they are paying you, okay, but you may end up paying your school fees by yourself. Sometimes they will go into an agreement with you, will pay your school fees and be deducting it from your salary. It's possible. So if you don't have the money to enter into school now, don't look for maybe you may not actually even qualify for teaching jobs, but for teacher trainee jobs you may qualify. So look for teacher trainee jobs that are going to sponsor you, and then go through that route. Okay. Alright guys, any more questions? Because it's my first live, I don't want to make it too long. But then if you just joined and you didn't start from the beginning, I'll edit it and I'll put it on the YouTube page so that you all can watch. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming. Initially I thought nobody was going to come at all, because I've never done this before, you see. Okay, I think that's about it. To be honest, I know that applying for jobs these days are really difficult, even for those people in UK. Some people are in the UK who came on dependent visas and are struggling to get jobs. People are no longer willing to sponsor. I don't know why. So it's very difficult. So I'll advise you to use any available option that there is. School, teacher training. Even if you get opportunity to come as a carer now, please take it. If you get a sponsorship to come as a carer, please take it. You can change later. You can bring your dependents once you get a different job, or once you are secured, once you get your ILR. Okay, anyone that works for you now, because the restrictions are only going to get tougher and tougher from next year. They're just going to keep getting tougher and tougher. Okay, but for teachers, fingers crossed, they just started yours, so hopefully Yours, they don't bring much restrictions like what the nurses and carers are experiencing now. I went through the teacher training road, but they are demanding GCSE. So with the GCSE, I'll advise you to get into teaching, because with the GCSE, if you wrote WASI, your maths and science and English are actually equivalent to that. Okay, if you wrote WASI, West African Secondary School Examination, if you wrote that one, you may actually qualify for that. They want an equivalent of that anyway, unless maybe the grades, I think the grade they want is C and above. They want C and above. So maybe if you don't have that one, that could be another problem. But if you wrote WASI and you had any of that grade, then you are likely to be able to secure. But then again, I'll say get in touch with Get Into Teaching. They will advise you on what to do. Okay. I'm trying to remember all those questions that I had. Oh, I'm sure that's why. I'm sure that's why. Because if you had a D in maths, that's going to go against you. It's going to go against you there. But let me not conclude that there's no other option for you. Okay, I'll put the Get Into Teaching contact in the Telegram page. Hi Emmanuel, into the Telegram page, and then you can contact them, because they always have ways. So if you speak with them, I'm sure they'll find an available option for you. Okay. I'm so sorry about your result. I'm sure if you had maybe C at least in maths, you should have been able to sail through. But do you consider other jobs really? I always say that for the first 1 to 5 years that you come into the UK, so just take it as your working period, a time where like you are going to be uncomfortable, you are going to hustle, you are going to work. Okay, it's not going to be the first 5 years until you get your ILR. It's going to be the most uncomfortable period of your life. But once you get your ILR, you can choose what profession you want to go to. If you are a teacher, you want to change it to something else. There are so many opportunities here. So my advice to people has always been that if you are trying with the profession that you worked in and it's not working, and you feel that you can work better in a different profession, then just go ahead and do it. Okay, for instance, with this care job like this, they don't restrict it to just health workers or people who did science or something in school. If you complete your care certificate and you start applying, you may get a job. It's equally as difficult. I'm not going to lie and say maybe it's not as difficult as the other ones. It's equally as difficult, but you can get into care job. And then for the first 1 to 5 years, be uncomfortable. Okay, work as much as you can, save as much as you can. But once you get your indefinite leave to remain, then you chase the dream that you want. Okay, you chase what you actually want to do. I know, like, jobs are difficult. Getting jobs these days, and I don't know why. Anyone I talk to, they are difficult. You've applied many times to NHS jobs. Yeah, even with the NHS. So what's the name? What's her name even? She's the HR in where I work. She said that every year the government allocates a certain amount of money for international recruitment. Okay, once that fund gets run out, you have to wait again for the next year, and then the government gives again, and then they then they start employing again. So for this time of the year, like getting to the end of the year, all of them have run through the funds that they got from the government. So they no longer have money to employ people from international countries. So wait until the beginning of next year, or at least April, and then apply. Okay, but I wouldn't say stop applying at all. Keep applying. Let me see. You are welcome, Isa. Yeah. I'm trying to see. Please explain the new laws passed in the UK. Oh, Bima. All right, I already did that. Oh, it was a quick one. I already did that. But anyway, I'll go through again. If those of you who have been here already, you can end the live because I've already explained it already to you. But for those of you that are now joining, I did already explain, but I'll just run through. Okay, the very first one is that they're going to stop care workers from bringing in their dependents. So if you are someone on the health and care visa, they are going to stop you from bringing your dependents. The care jobs were introduced for just a number of years, I think 1 year or so. They introduced it for 1 year, then they extended it, and then they didn't extend it again. So they are saying that there were few applicants and more dependents, and those dependents have come into the country and they are not working. So they are just in the country and using UK resources. So they want to put a stop to the increased number of legal, not the illegal ones, of legal migrant care jobs. Okay, so they will not be able to bring in their families. The second one is that they are going to increase the minimum salary threshold for anyone that wants to come on a skilled worker visa. So at the moment it's 28,200 or so, 26,200, but they are going to increase that to 38,700, which means that if you want to apply for this visa, you should be earning at least 38,700 before you be eligible to get this visa. You understand? Okay, so the third one is that they are going to look at the graduate visa route. Okay, sorry sorry, video hubs. They are going to look at the graduate visa route, and I explained that graduate visa is currently, is like when you come on a student visa, after you finished your school, you have at least 2 years to 3 years depending on what course you did. So if you did an undergraduate course, you have 2 years to look for a job and a sponsor to go onto a work visa. But if you did PhD or any of the doctoral courses, you have up to 3 years. So that graduate visa, people are staying in the country after they complete their studies for another 2 to 3 years, and during that time they are not required to have sponsorship, so you can work without really needing a sponsor. But after those 2 years, you must move on to a work visa and then get your sponsorship before you can stay, and then go through like how everybody stays on the work visa. So they are going to put not stop it, but they are going to review it. We don't know exactly what they are going to do to it. They may say don't bring your dependents, they may say you require a sponsor, they may do anything to it, but they are going to look into that one as well. The other one is that they are going to look at the shortage occupation list. So if you know the shortage occupation list, teaching, nurses, pharmacists, all those people are on the shortage occupation list. But from next year spring, they are going to review it as well, and they may totally cancel that shortage occupation list and introduce a new form of list, or they may increase the salary threshold for, we don't know what they are going to do. Okay, but they are going to also review that shortage occupation list. The other thing is that, which one haven't I mentioned, because I wasn't even using my list now, the health surcharge. They are going to increase the health surcharge from 624 to 1,035 pounds. Everyone pays health surcharge at the moment. Just the health and care visa is exempted, but everyone else, skilled worker visa, those on skilled worker visa, pay health surcharge. So if you're coming to the UK now, you pay a health surcharge. But what happens is that normally your sponsor will take care of those costs, so you don't end up paying. So they are going to increase that cost, that health surcharge money. They are going to increase it from 624 to 1,035 pounds. Okay. And also family visas. Family visa is people that have already, it's not dependents. Okay, they are different. Family visa, people that have already, who already have indefinite leave to remain, who are already living in the UK, British citizens. If they were to bring their spouse from a different country or their children from a different country, they would have to apply for a family visa. So they are also going to increase that amount to from, I think, 20. They are also going to increase that amount to also to 38,700. Okay. So it was from 18,600 and they haven't increased it for a long time, but from next year going, they're going to increase that to 38,700. Can I just add that the salary baseline, teachers are not part apparently. So I thought teachers were a part. It was only today that I found out that teachers on workers who are on education workers on national pay scales, education workers for national pay scales are not part. And I looked at the list. We had further education teachers, professionals, so college lecturer for tutor as well, secondary school teachers, primary and nursery teachers, special needs teachers. Okay, they are all not part. So if you were going to come to the UK now, you would not have to meet that 38,700. So you guys are all safe. So you are safe. You can bring your dependents. You are safe. You don't have to meet that 38,700 threshold. But you are not safe from the health surcharge. You may have to pay that health surcharge. So if you get a sponsor who wants you to do everything by yourself, and then when you come, they refund you, you know that you are going to have to pay for that extra increase in health surcharge. Okay, and what else? I think that's about it. I've said all that there is with the new update. But if you have any questions, if you have anything that I haven't said, please let me know. Had my QTS barely a month ago. Please, any advice for me? Oh, that's good. Congratulations. A lot of people are waiting for that QTS. People that applied in February, some of them are still waiting for that QTS. So if you've had that QTS, congratulations. Okay, but the next stage is going to be difficult. The next stage is to get a job, and like everyone else, I don't know, there seems to be a stagnation in employment at the moment, and it doesn't only affect people outside the UK, people in the UK as well. Getting a job that requires sponsorship is hard, but if you don't need sponsorship, you can get it today. I don't know why. Jobs that require sponsorships are difficult, even for those already in the UK. Sometimes when you call them, they'll be like, oh, I thought you were in the UK and blah blah blah. Even those in the UK, jobs are difficult. So I was advising Isa earlier. I was like, at the moment, restrictions are only going to get tough and tough and tough. So if you find a way, even if you have to come by a carer, if you say you were specialized in chemistry or maths, but you aren't getting any jobs in that category, you can go for early childhood if you can teach. You can go for any of the, just get a job that can get you scholarship. Did I say scholarship? Sponsorship. Or yes, teacher training. You can go through teacher training as well. I'll advise you to get into contact with Get Into Teaching. Okay, explain it to them that you have had your QTS. You want to know what options there are for you that can enable you to come and teach in the UK. Okay, then they'll be the best to advise you on. But don't forget to keep your eye on the Government of UK website where they post teaching jobs with sponsorship. I know people that have gotten jobs on that site. It's not easy and they rarely come through, but they do come through. Okay, so keep an eye on that one as well. James, I hope I've answered your question. Okay guys, I'll end this live in exactly 1 hour. So for now, I'm still here. If you have any questions at all, you want me to talk about anything else that maybe it's not even relating to this video, you can. Okay, another thing that look at your, like, have someone have a look at your CV and your personal statement. All those things are very important because getting jobs these days are hard. If you get a job, make sure that everything is on point, your CV is on point, personal statement is on point, and all that. Okay. And then one thing I know with is like with personal statements, it really counts. Writing a personal statement when you're applying for a job really counts. Okay, they don't take that one lightly. So check those ones as well. Check your CV, check your personal statement, check that everything is on point, and then you apply. All right. And then when you get an interview, prepare very well, because this opportunity comes but once. These times are when you actually see how that saying works, because very rarely will you get a job. So when you get the job, make sure that you actually put all effort into it. So check your CV, check your personal statement. Sometimes they are the ones that are not helping us. Okay. Thank you, Isa. I really appreciate it. Thanks for your support, you guys. And I appreciate each and everyone that has joined today's live. Like I said, it's my very first live. So if you're here, you're making history. One day, if I become a big YouTuber, you're going to be like, oh, I was actually on Mercy's first live. You guys are making history. Thank you very much for joining. So guys, what do you think about can I send them to you so that you can check? Yeah, you can message me on Telegram. Okay, you can inbox me there on Telegram. I can have a quick check for you. And then your personal statement as well. I think I can have a look as to how you are going about it. Or when you're applying, do they not ask you for personal statement? If they do, you can let me check that one as well. Okay. Another advice I want to give you. So just recently, I think 2 weeks ago, I was trying to help some people like get some sponsorship jobs, yeah. And most of the ones that were being advertised, it did not say they were sponsoring. But then I rang them personally. So I said, oh, I have a family, this and this, who has this qualification and all that, and they are looking to work here. They are not in the country though, but they are here and here. And sometimes these employers will be like, okay, let them send me their CV. We are not currently sponsoring, but I'll speak to the hiring team or something like that. So I advise you also call. Okay, when you email them, call the schools directly if you can. Call their HR, call whoever is in charge. Just present yourself. My name is this. I'm from Ghana or Nigeria. I have so and so years in teaching. I saw this post and I want to ask if you are sponsoring. Okay, Doreen mentioned that tip. She said she usually calls them before she actually does the application. So you can also try it. Call the school and sell yourself to them, because sometimes they may not be sponsoring, but based on the vibe they get with you when they talk with you, they can recommend you for sponsorship. It's possible. I'm a nurse though, but in my cohort, my group, one of us did not apply directly on the website. She called our HR, which is our current HR, and she made her send her details, and then she's also here with us now. So don't underestimate calling or standing out, making yourself stand out during job applications. And also don't look on just the website. Check LinkedIn as well. Okay, check LinkedIn. There are a lot of job positions that are sometimes posted on LinkedIn. If you change your profile, I think there's somewhere on the profile that says looking for a job or something. They'll recommend jobs to you if anyone does come up, and then you can inbox them directly, or based on you can message them off of the LinkedIn app in their own email, their own website or something. Don't underestimate LinkedIn. Some schools ask for cover letters and others supporting statements. Others also ask for both CV and what's SS? Supporting statement. Okay. Okay. So what I will do is, so based on, just get a generic supporting statement, get a generic cover letter, and then tweak it according to the job that you're applying. So for instance, if you are applying for, let's say, secondary school teacher to teach chemistry, and in this job post they are looking for somebody with 2 years experience, or someone who studied this and that, you can use it based. One thing I noticed about we Ghanaians as well is sometimes we don't even count national service, we don't count all those, but all those things are part, they all count as experience. Okay, don't underestimate yourself. So count everything, count it as part of your experience. And English is not our first language. You may have 3 years of experience, someone else may have just 2 years of experience, but because of how the person writes their supporting statements, they may end up giving the job to the person. Okay, write, like, put information in the supporting statement. Don't just write it lame. Like, don't just leave a lot of things. Maybe I'm applying for this job because teaching has always been my passion and all that. You can write, you can put in details. For instance, I'm currently a band 6 nurse. Yeah, when I was a band 5 nurse and I applied to a job, the very first job opportunity I got and I applied, my supporting statement, I didn't really put much. I think I wrote like 4 or 5 sentences, but I never got called for a job interview. But when I got a second opportunity, guys, if I tell you the things that I wrote, I think I even wrote a story. I even said something about why, like, oh yes, I remember. So I said something about when I was in Ghana working in the hospital, we didn't have too many equipment, like too many hospitals equipment to work with. So we used to improvise a lot. But then coming to the UK and then looking at all the equipment that they are, I feel like I'm in a better position to help and all that. So for instance, your supporting statement as a chemistry teacher, be like, oh, as a child, maybe I used to love this and this, I used to do this, and then once I started school, I knew that I wanted to become a teacher, and I knew I wanted to study chemistry because of this and this. Okay, so this makes me stand out. I'm this, I'm that. Okay, you have to put information there. If not, you will not stand out. The person should be reading your statement and should be like, wow, this is somebody I can work with. Okay, this is somebody I would love to work with, because like they know what they're about. They know, like, I don't know if you get what I mean. Don't just write it like formal. Okay, don't write it too formal. I can tell you that. Don't write it too formal. That's one thing. Put a bit of feeling in there, put a bit of passion in there. If you want me to see your supporting statement, you can send it to me on Telegram. Okay, I'll have a look for you, and then maybe I'll tell you where to tweak, and then maybe just give you my 2 cents. Okay. Oh, Ella, thank you very much. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate you. So guys, what do you think? Do you prefer YouTube Live or Zoom? Which one do you prefer, YouTube Live or Zoom? Because I wanted to try this for a change, because we always do it on Zoom. I wanted to try this for a change. So we have just 9 minutes more. Just 9 minutes, and then I'll end the live, because I want it to just be 1 hour. I'll edit it to a shorter hours, and for the benefit of those that have joined now, you will enjoy hearing me one-to-one answering all your questions. If I put it on YouTube, I may not include all of this. I think I'll cram it down to like 20 minutes or so. So that's the advantage of joining the live. Also, for those who, if you know anyone that has gotten a job on the Telegram page, please let them come forward to give us tips. Okay. Oh, thank you, Ella. Maybe I should stick with this. Maybe I should stick with the YouTube as well. If you know anyone that has had a job on the Telegram page, please let them come forward and give us tips. A lot of people are they're a bit reserved when it comes to opening up about how they got their jobs, and like tips that they have to give, because they're afraid people worry them. But if you have a friend who has had a job, please encourage them to speak out, okay, to help those of us who are still searching. Okay. to not be shy or anything like that. Yeah, I agree. YouTube is smooth. Yeah, that's true. All right, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So the main problem is with sponsorship. The main problem is with sponsorship. You meet the requirements, but the problem is sponsorship. The UK system. And it's not as if they have enough people in the job. I work in the hospital, and almost always we are short staffed. And it's not just my hospital, like many other hospitals, they are always short staffed. But I'm not sure why they want to restrict people from coming, because all these new rules that they are implementing, it's to cut down on the numbers of legal migrants coming to the country. So anyway, we are not UK government, we are only here to work. So guys, any more questions? We have, well, a little about 5 minutes, and then I'll end this live. I'm trying to see if there are any more questions in there. Okay, no more questions. So I'll end this live maybe sooner, because I don't want to be here showing my face for nothing. Showing my face for nothing. So thank you to everyone that has joined, and I do appreciate each and every one of you. And the video will be up on my YouTube channel. If you missed it, or if you want to rehear something, you can just go back to watch it, okay, and leave your comment. I'll be reading them and I'll be answering them. And if you're not part of my Telegram page as well, please join my Telegram page for teachers. We support each other, we listen to each other, we give each other tips here and there every now and again. So please do well to join as well. And once the video is up, kindly share with friends who are in the same situation and who need some kind of encouragement or some information as well. Thank you very much for watching. Oh, see you. I'm about to end now. People are joining. I was about to end the live. Anyway, if you are here, welcome. And the live is already about to end now. But like I said, it will be up on the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching, guys. Bye for now. I'll wait till it's 1 hour, then I'll end it, okay? If you have any questions, please ask me before the 1 hour mark. Okay, I have 3 more minutes. Please, those on the Telegram page, you can always message me. I think there was a time back where I couldn't reply to messages because I was going through a lot at the time. But you can message me. I always post videos there. If you don't know who is there, you can just swipe the message and go to my contact and send me a message. I'll reply. I promise I'll reply. God richly bless you for good work you're doing. I really know. Oh, thank you very much, James. Thank you very much for joining and for making history, like I said, because this is my very first live video. Thank you for joining, James. I appreciate each and every one of you for your support. All right, guys, 2 more minutes and then we are done. So the link I'll put beneath this video once it's up on YouTube, or please go to my previous video. I always link it. There's an arrow that points down under the video. If you click on it, it gives you all the links. You see the link to join the Telegram page over there. I'm using my phone to record the live right now, so I can't really post the link over here. Okay, but if you go to my previous videos on my channel, click on the arrow that points down just beneath the video, and all the links are there. Then you can follow it from there. Okay. And also share to any teacher that you know. Really, they are very supportive on that page. Some people have had their jobs, and the other time they came to tell us how they did it and gave us tips and all that. We learned a lot. So I'll encourage everybody to join the page if they haven't already. Thank you, James. God bless you too, James. I really appreciate it. Thanks. Alright guys, thank you very much. I think we'll end it here. Thank you Oni, thank you. I'll end the live here, and I'll see you in the Telegram page or on YouTube. Thank you very much, and thank you for watching. Bye.